Hi! Before I get started this video, I want to give a quick shout out to Ask Kirby, my sponsor. In case you guys didn't know, Ask Kirby is this new gossip app where people basically be talking shit, giving their opinion. Basically, everybody be coming out here being messy as hell, dragging people, and it's the most entertaining shit in the world. Sometimes when I'm in bed and I don't feel like brushing my teeth and I'm bored, I just be scrolling through here to listen to people talk shit. I be hearing about everything on here. And sometimes I be even getting my controversial topics on Ask Kirby. Once you download it, no long registration is required. All you gotta do is download the app and you're good to go. So if you guys want to catch me talking shit and see if you can find me talking shit on here, so download Ask Kirby if you guys want to talk shit with me anonymously and not get caught up for it.
Some viewers may find this disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hi my loves. It's Destin Choice, and you're watching Troyce TV. Now today I want to talk about this whole viral video going on with this back to school commercial. So long story short, in case you guys didn't know, a back to school commercial basically perpetuated the whole idea that kids nowadays are very numb to school shootings that go down. And as I talk about that, I'm going to be fucking up my broccoli and french fries, a very healthy low carb snack, and my veggie patties. These are black bean veggie patties. Very healthy, low carb meal. Take notes, some of y'all gonna die. Anyways, let me get into the video. So long story short, this commercial was posted by the Sandy Hook Foundation. And long story short, people aren't very happy about it. And before I play the commercial, I want to tell you guys, it's a trigger warning. Go to this timestamp if you guys don't want to watch the controversial commercial.
Here, my mom got me the perfect bag for back to school.
These colorful binders help me stay organized.
These headphones are just what I need for studying.
These new sneakers are just what I need for the new year.
This jacket is a real must-have.
My parents got me the skateboard I wanted. It's pretty cool.
These scissors really come in handy in art class.
These colored pencils, too.
These new socks, they can be a real lifesaver.
I finally got my own phone to stay in touch with my mom.
People are not very happy about this commercial because many people say that it promotes school shootings and it also promotes the fact that kids should be scared out of their minds to go to school. And here's my thing. I mean, well, duh. Are kids supposed to walk around not being aware of school shootings that are going down? By the way, this is Caribbean green seasoning. I use it as a dipping sauce. Here's my thing with the people who are pressed about the commercial. I personally feel like the commercial is needed because we live in a world where school shootings happen. And let's be realistic, y'all. School shootings, that shit ain't new. People make it seem like it's a new trend now and people do it to like be crazy. I'm like, that's not new. That's been going on since the beginning of cracker days. I mean, since the crack of dawn. People say, wow, kids these days are crazy. No, bitch. Kids have always been fucking crazy. Kids have always been motherfucking crazy. Who think that this is a trend? Let me ask you a question. All my grown people who graduated high school. When you were in high school or in middle school or elementary school, y'all don't remember when on the last week of school you'd be told not to bring book bags to school? Y'all remember that? Well, yeah, they told everyone in all schools all around the world to not bring book bags on the last day because kids are crazy and like to bring guns and knives and shit for people who picked on them or fucked with them on the last day of school. That's a real thing. So that's a big reason why people weren't allowed to bring book bags to school. Y'all remember when you used to walk around the hallways on the last day of school, or when it was early release day, or when it was about to be vacation, and they would say you can't bring book back to school. If you bring a book back to school, it'll get taken away and taken to the office. Shit like that was really going down. So this school shooting shit is not new. I remember I saw Pamela Harris, go on the Tonight Show, and I saw her giving her thoughts on it.
How many of you guys as college students had to have a drill during high school or middle school or elementary school or even in college, where you learned about how you need to hide in a closet or crouch in a corner in the event that there is a mass shooter roaming the hallways of your school? Look at that. Look at that. And here's the thing. It terrorized you. It is traumatizing. I don't want that any of our children should have to sit in class when you should be paying attention to what's happening in the front of the classroom, letting your mind open up to the wonders of science, math, or art, or whatever, and instead have to be worried about who's going to come banging through the door carrying some kind of weapon.
And she made a very good point. Even though I don't like Kamala Harris ugly ass, but that's another video and a whole other topic that I'm probably not going to touch because a lot of people aren't ready for that conversation. And plus, politics is too controversial. But anyways, we live in a world where school shootings is just like so popular nowadays. And people see it as, we need gun laws, we need gun control, we need this, we need that. We gotta stop with this gun thing. Like, why is our president allowing for guns to, you know, be allowed? And here's my thing. I say this all the time and I'll say it again. We don't need fucking gun control. Okay? Guns don't kill people. People kill people. Guns don't kill people because if a gun's sitting right there, is it gonna walk up to you and kill you? No. We need to stop giving guns to idiots. But I feel like we need to give children psych tests every 2 years, every 3 years. I feel like that needs to be an actual thing that needs to be enforced. We need to start making kids in high school, middle school, elementary school take a mental health course. You know what's so crazy? I didn't even know I had anxiety until I was 17. It took me that long to realize that I have social anxiety. And it's not bad as it used to be. I've managed to like handle it. But had I known this at a younger age what anxiety was and there were different types of anxiety, I probably would have taken meds and shit because it was really, really bad. My social anxiety stemmed from like childhood trauma, and it caused me not to socialize with people. And that's why it's even hard for me to make friends in the real world, because we don't talk about these things in school. You know, they do offer psychology classes in a lot of schools, but they don't offer mental health schools. They don't teach children about mental health. They don't teach kids about sex trafficking. So that's my thing. Like, people don't realize that it's not the guns, it's the people. You know what I'm saying? If we were giving kids psych tests every 2 or 3 years, kids would be fine. They'd be taking their meds, they'd be taking their medication. They wouldn't just be walking around willy-nilly thinking that, oh, a school shooting can happen with anybody. No, it's a mental health thing. That's why school shootings is a bad problem. So people are dragging this commercial, and plus, this commercial is blowing up even more because we have designers who are coming out with clothing where you see bullet holes. So basically, people are coming out with bullet hole hoodies, bullet hole t-shirts, and putting the name of the high school on it and selling it for profit. Guns isn't the problem. That's what's wrong with the world. People keep dismissing mental health and aren't looking at the bigger picture. Why are we blaming the guns when we should be blaming the people with the mental health issues? There are people who have PTSD from childhood trauma and are over here shooting up schools, and now kids have pretty much normalized it. And it's not something that should be normal, but it's been going on for a long time. Kids bring weapons to school all the time. And here's my thing. They love to put metal detectors in schools up north where it's predominantly black or predominantly Hispanic. But they won't put metal detectors in all white schools. You ever notice that? I'm not talking about metal detectors at certain places. I'm talking about metal detectors at the front of the school with security. They do it to black schools, but they do it to white schools. Should I know this? I went to an all-black school and I went to a white school. And there were no metal detectors in the white school. But in the black school, when you were walking in front, the first thing security did to you was say, where's your ID? Show your ID, show your ID. No one was allowed to cross the path unless you had your ID on and your ID was visible. And even when I was in high school, people used to make jokes about school shootings. And I'm going to be honest, shit, I used to bring weapons to school too. When I was in high school, I used to walk around with a taser. I used to walk around with like 2 tasers. And when I was in high school, I used to walk around with pepper spray on my keys. I got that shit taken away one time, but thank God I didn't get in trouble. But I was not playing. And the reason why I bought weapons to school was specifically because kids are dirty as fuck. I don't fuck with kids and I don't like the other kids. And I was never a social person. And since motherfuckers at school are dirty and crazy as fuck, I didn't want no one to try me and I had to like fight or put my hands on anybody. Because I don't want to put my hands on people's kids. shank bitches or I tase bitches. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, was it a good thing? No, but the thing about me was I have really, really bad social anxiety, and I used to get really, really bad panic attacks. So I did not want to be in a situation where somebody had to cut me, bump into me, or try me, and no one really did try me, but I had it on me for just in case. And here's the thing, mental health. I mean, just not too long ago, a couple of days ago, a girl got arrested because she playfully said that she was going to shoot up 400 people at her school for fun.
18-year-old Alexis Wilson walked into the courtroom for a bond hearing, facing accusations that she was planning to shoot up to 400 people, possibly at her old high school, McAllister High. Authorities found an AK-47, ammunition, and a shotgun at her house. But Wilson said she would never shoot up a school.
In today's times, you can't say stuff like that, and any time that something is said like that, we're going to take it serious, and we're going to, investigate it to the fullest extent and make an arrest if possible, because, we do not want any of our schools getting shot up, as nobody does. And so we're going to do, everything that we can to prevent this.
According to court records, a co-worker at Pizza Inn reported Wilson had showed pictures and a video of her shooting and made violent threats. A worker told us that Wilson's worked here about a month as a polite worker who clocked in and out, said yes ma'am, no sir.
Nothing like this.
Wilson told authorities she'd been bullied, had feelings of suicide, and homicidal feelings towards others.
I'm sorry. Where the fuck they found? How the fuck she get an AK-47? But anywho, but as you can see in that news report, you can see that this girl is saying that she has like PTSD and she has suicidal thoughts, and like we got kids taking. Like, we have kids doing school shooting drills. Like, nowadays, that's a normal thing. Like, back then, we used to have fire drills every other fucking month. But now we have kids taking school shooting drills where what they need to do, what they should do if there's a school shooting. And that's honestly horrifying. They didn't really have that when I was in school, but we did talk about school shootings a lot. Because we've all known people who have brought weapons to school. We've all known people. Weapons, drugs. This shit happens. But people are just going to blame guns and blame it on we need better gun control. I hate when people say that. That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. No, people need psych tests. People need to evaluate their mental health. It needs to start from kindergarten and then go on to 3rd, 5th grade, and then go on to middle school, and then go on to high school. Kids need to be taking psych tests all the time. And then when kids have the urge to shoot up schools, they want to be like, what's wrong with people? How can people be so evil? Well, some people are just misunderstood, and their mental health gets disregarded. Just like how the media disregards people's mental health, parents, school systems disregard mental health and turn it into oh, people are disgusting. Wow, you came from a great home. Mental health can happen to anybody. Shit, some of y'all have it. It takes us having to realize this as adults, rather than finding out this shit in school. Like, people wait. Like, people make kids figure this out on their own rather than educating them. And it's really fucking disgusting. You know, this commercial right here, even though it did stir a lot of controversy, I feel like it's very much necessary. People say, oh, there's another way to go about it. So what's another way to go about it? Do we have to say to kids, oh, in fairy tale land, you never know. Somebody might come around and fuck around, shoot up the school. A white kid might go crazy and shoot up the school. It's like, what's the best way to put it? Like, what other way are we going to teach kids about school shootings? So people who are upset, parents who are upset, there's no need to be upset. I mean, this commercial needs to be made, and people need to see this. And I feel like it's a necessary commercial for kids to watch. I think they should play this in assemblies. They should play this in classrooms. Because kids need to realize that this shit is not a joke. But I feel like we got to figure out the source of the problem and why people are going crazy. We got to figure out why people are cutting kids in school, or why people are shanking kids in school, or why kids are bringing weapons to school. We got to figure out the problem. Rather than putting these children in jail and making them do community service, we got to get out of this slave mentality of, if you misbehave, you're going to jail. No, we need to figure out the source of the problem. Rehabilitation is the best thing in my opinion. Guns aren't the problem. Stop blaming guns. Guns have never been the problem. People have always been problems. And I guarantee you, if they take away guns, people are gonna find something else to use. And the only way we're gonna get through this is if we help kids evaluate their mental health. I remember when I was in high school, this was when this famous school shooting happened. I forgot what it was. I don't know. I'll put the school right here. But I remember this was a very, very popular school shooting that happened, and this is when people like really started to wake up on school shootings. And I remember I was 8 miles away from the school because I went to high school not too far away from it. And people were like up in shambles and going crazy, and I remember there was police everywhere, like every corner of every school within like a 30-mile radius. Everybody's so quick to judge children for fighting and being a ruckus and doing horrible things in school, but we won't try to figure out why they did it. We just say it as, oh, disgusting, bad parenting, you're this, you're that. Figure out why the child did that, because there are kids out here who are getting molested at home, abused at home, treated like shit at home, and going through a lot of traumatic things in the home. Because like I always say, it starts at the home. Instead of trying to help people, we shun them. People say these kids need to get electric chairs, and I understand that these people who are school shooters hurt people and kill people, but we gotta figure out what's wrong with these people. And I'm glad that we have shows like 13 Reasons Why, where they talk about mental health, but then we have a whole bunch of idiots out here and a whole bunch of parents who are saying, it promotes mental health, it promotes the fact that kids should be killing themselves, or commercials like this promote the fact that kids want to shoot up schools.
Urban commercial that I have ever seen in my 29 years of existence on this fucked up earth. Like, they done had a mock shooting for a back to school commercial.
Oh, wow. I went in the comments thinking people were going to share my opinion, and everybody in the comments was like, wow, this is so powerful. This is the eerie world we live in. No, I don't really know. What is this supposed to increase enrollment? What the? Come to Sandy Hook. We get it popping over here. This was shot.
Damn, why put that in the atmosphere? Like, you know what I'm saying? Why make an ad like that, a commercial like that? Like, why?
The best cure for ignorance is knowledge. Stop hiding your kids from the world. You can hide your kids from the world, but you can't hide your world. Fuck, what was it saying? You can hide your kids from the world. You can hide your kids from the world, but you can't hide the world from your kids. Or honestly, just homeschool your kids. It's crazy because it took me a while to realize these things because many schools and parents don't want to have this conversation. It's disgusting and horrifying that schools don't want to have this conversation. They don't want to educate people. They'd rather wait for that bridge to come in order to cover it and talk about it. Like, for one, I didn't even know why kids weren't allowed to wear hats in school until I became an adult and I graduated. Apparently, kids can't wear hats to school because kids can hide weapons under them. All this shit is done on purpose. In school, they don't teach kids about colorism, which affects every race. And in school, they don't teach kids about sex trafficking, which happens a lot. By the way, heads up for all y'all, if somebody offers you a ride that you don't know, do not get in that damn car. And if you know anything about sex trafficking, please be sure to call this number for the U.S. and Google wherever you are, wherever you live, sex trafficking laws, because sex trafficking happens all the time. Look up the 1-800 number and don't get into a car with strangers. Don't stay out too late. And kids don't teach it, and we're not learning these things in school. It's almost as if in school we're meant to be blinded and ignorant. It's like they want to hide everything for us. I mean, it's bad enough that they wash away Black history. Now they're over here washing away real life issues that are going on and have been going on, but no one ever addresses it. The textbooks are whitewashed, they're censored, they're age restricted, and they're not teaching kids everything they need to know. High school doesn't fucking prepare kids for college. High school doesn't prepare people for life. You know how many times I had to use Algebra 2 in life? This many times. You don't need to learn any of that shit we're learning in school now. That's why I'm saying they need to reevaluate this whole curriculum, and they're not going to do it. Kids are meant to be ignorant because we live in a world where everybody has always been sensitive. Like, I never in my life had to use the fucking Pythagorean theorem or algebra 2 in real world because that shit don't fucking matter. We're over here learning about whitewashed history. History in school is bullshit. I don't care what no one says. They don't teach us the real shit, you know? They only teach us that black people's lives started at slavery, but they don't teach us that black people were kings and queens before slavery. And they also don't teach us about how sex trafficking is a multi-billion-dollar industry and how sex trafficking actually made more than Geico, Burger King, McDonald's, and Walmart in 1 year. They don't teach us that things. Kids are meant to be ignorant. And I say this all the time. School teaches people how to be employees. They're not teaching you how to be bosses. They're not teaching you guys about investing in property. They're not teaching you guys about learning the right diet or things that you need in your body. Speaking of things that you need in your body, I take vitamin D pills, not sponsored. Make sure y'all start taking vitamin D pills. Buy them on Amazon. They're infused. My vitamin D pills are infused with coconut oil and vitamin D extract. Start taking them. If you're a person of color, no matter what race you are, or a person of color, no matter what race you are, start taking vitamin D pills because for those people who are of color, we have melanin in our skin. Since we have melanin in our skin, it's harder for us to absorb vitamin D from the sun. And we don't really take enough of it when it comes to our food because the government's fucking with our food and is trying to kill us. So make sure y'all take vitamin D pills if you're a person of color, okay? They don't teach us this in school, but a lot of people who have melanin in their skin are deficient of vitamin D. And you need vitamin D to live. And if you don't have vitamin D or enough in your body, you're more susceptible or diseases have more access to you. Crazy. I'm glad they're talking about it. Drills need to be done. People want to say, that's crazy. I don't want my kid to have to do this. No, drills need to be done. The drills need to be done. I mean, it's bad enough y'all already talk about real issues like colorism or sex trafficking or date rape. It's bad enough they don't talk about that. Y'all might as well do school shooting drills. Do everyone a favor and do school shooting drills. But I feel like people who have guns should also take psych tests. So all these kids who are getting access to guns, some of them are getting them from their parents and some of them are buying them. Anyone who has access to guns needs to take a psych test. If you legally have access to a gun, take a psych test because stricter gun laws that are stricter than the ones that we have right now aren't going to do anything. Because people are going to find a way to get guns anyways. People out here buying guns from that crackhead nigga from the block. So that was my views and opinion on the commercial. And about this real world nonsense. Because Lord knows that some of your favorite YouTubers ain't going to talk about it. Lord knows that the government's trying to kill us. But anyways, that was that for this video. People should like, comment, subscribe. Give your thoughts in the comment section down below. And yeah, that's that. Troy, stop this bitch. Make me feel. Cause I will take you to my arms and never let go. If I could fall in love with you, I could fall in love with you. And I know it ain't hard, but I can fall in love. I can fall in love with you. Cause I know it ain't hard, but I guess I can try to do what I can do. And I fall in love. Fall in love.